Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy Reeves, head blender of Cornell and Diehl Pipe Tobacco Company, and I am very excited to be able to talk to all of you about an upcoming small batch release, Palmetto Balkan. Many of us over the years in the pipe tobacco hobby have at least heard about, if not actually been able to enjoy, Syrian Latakia. Suffice to say that through all sorts of circumstances, the Syrian source of Latakia, which was the original and sole source for a long time, went away. And so production of Latakia and growth of Latakia moved to Cyprus. There was a time where these coexisted, and then eventually Syrian was just completely off the market, totally unavailable. And Cyprian was now the new Latakia source. There were differences between them. The Syrian Latakia had sort of a red wine, and particularly a dry red wine sort of character. There were fruity elements, but it was also delicately smoked in a way that the Cyprian did not have. That fruity note was not present in the Cyprian leaf, and the smoke character was actually quite intense. And so some people loved it, some people hated it, but eventually that just came to be the Latakia source. Well, now through more complicated happenings over time, the Cyprian crop has become inconsistent and inconsistently available to boot. And so we, a few years ago, and a few other companies, started working with a Turkish producer who really was looking to the ecological and sustainability aspects of Latakia production, which has been much of the downfall of Latakia over the years. And so producing Latakia not only in more controlled ways and in ways that produced less loss, but also being able to produce Latakia in shorter periods of time, with smoking ranging around 2 to 3 months instead of 5 to 6 months, and the design of the barns being such that rather than consuming roughly 400 pounds of wood a day for the fires to smoke the Latakia, being able to use pelleted forms of the wood and being able to use less than 50 pounds a day per barn. So much more sound and much more partnered with the Turkish government as well. So the Turkish Latakia is, I think, the future of Latakia, and we have been on that train for a few years now. There are elements of the Turkish leaf that I think are sort of reminiscent of the Syrian Latakia that I've been able to smoke. They're not identical, but there are characteristics that I think are comparable. And so through kind of a weird method, C&D has a proprietary process that we've used to sort of shrink the gap between the flavor profile of the Turkish and the flavor profile of the old Syrian leaf. That's been the goal with Palmetto Balkan in the past, is just to pay homage to the original Latakia from Syria, using Latakia that I think is going to be available for a long time to come. But this year, we also had opportunity to put our hands on some very old Cyprian Latakia from 2004. So we combined our Turkish leaf and this vintage Cyprian, and both together went through our proprietary process. Now you've got the new generation, if you will, of Latakia, and the most recent last generation of Latakia coming together to, again, pay homage to the original leaf. That is the story with this year's Palmetto Balkan. I'm not saying that they're identical, but I do think that there are a lot of characteristics in this blend, along with beautiful Orientals. I think the blend really comes together well to accentuate those notes that are most close to the old Syrian leaf. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope others of you find, as I have found, joy in sort of seeing the progression of these things, but also being able to look back and see that the old things are not gone. They're still attainable. It's just different.